Decisions, decisions, decisions. I've been going through quite a dilemma for a number of weeks now of what to decide. And I've got some exciting announcement to make based on that decision to share with you all. But before I go into the detail of what decision I have made regarding running, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. What was your first video that you saw of mine that prompted you to continue watching my channel or subscribe or whatever? Yeah, leave it in the comments below. And speaking of subscribing, I'd love if you could give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel and really help support what I'm doing in terms of spreading the joy of running. Thank you so much. Some decisions are easier to make than others, like, do I stop at the Church of the Runners after a long run or head straight home? And some decisions are much harder than others, and this is one of those decisions. It's been quite a dilemma, and I'm going to take you through now my thoughts, processes, and how I come about this particular decision. My name is Donato and welcome back to my channel. It's been a tough few weeks for me in terms of making a particular decision, because there's been a lot going on, whilst I've been in the fun part of training and having a whale of a time, yeah, with the especially with the £9 Primark shoes on the park run and trying out some other new shoes. At the same time, I need to look ahead of what I need to do, because based on what's going to be happening in the autumn determines what training plan I would follow. Now, a lot of you guys sit and watch the whole of my videos all the way from the beginning to an end, and I know some of you have picked up already one thing that I've mentioned about my autumn marathon that I will be doing, because I've had the dilemma of 3 marathons. Now, a number of them I've had, how can I say, because I've qualified as good for age both for Berlin and for London Marathon. They're sort of at the top there as marathon majors that I want to do for, well, almost like forever really, because there's been, with the lockdowns and races being cancelled, there's a lot of pent up energy and joy that I want to go out and do those, whilst at the same time I need to look after my body, because doing too many of these marathons now that I'm the prime young age of 61, and my body doesn't recover the way it would if it was a lot younger. So some of you young guys in your 30s and 40s, your recovery is a lot better than for someone of my age. That's just science, yeah, that's plain facts. And I've found out, to my detriment, especially last year and also the year back in 2018, where I ran Boston Marathon on Marathon Monday, Patriots Day, and then literally 6 days later ran London Marathon. Now, because I'd qualified for both of them, you know, getting a Boston Marathon qualifier, for me it was such a prestigious event, I didn't want to miss that. Unfortunately, I was sort of ill and sort of semi-injured as well, and it didn't really go well. And London, man, that was a hot day. My slowest ever marathon on that day. Didn't go well at all. I didn't enjoy it as much as I wanted to. And the same happened last year. So at London Marathon, where I took it easy, 3 hours 20, which is easy for me, it still felt tough. And then when I came to Yorkshire Marathon 2 weeks later, 2 weeks, I thought I'd recovered enough, but the race just fell apart, and again didn't enjoy that as much as I could. So my priority for me, and what I share on this channel, the joy of running, is to enjoy these marathons. Whilst I want to do them all, I'd love to be able to do them all. Have to be a bit pragmatic. So those 2 have been sitting there. One's end of September, Berlin Marathon, and then London Marathon, which is normally in spring, but again they've had it this autumn because of the lockdowns, where I think it does revert back next year to spring. So this year, unfortunately, it's just 1 week difference between Berlin and London. So a decision had to be made, which one of those do I do, if at all? That was the initial thing, yeah? Should I pause now so we can change the thought? Because I then had a curveball come in following Manchester Marathon. So the curveball came in. Yes, Manchester Marathon. I ran an epic race, literally seconds off my personal best from Chicago 2018. So 4 years later, older, coming in with a time of 3 hours and 6 minutes and whatever, 40 odd, 50 odd seconds. So about 30 seconds off my PB. That race qualified me for England Marathon Masters place at Chester Marathon. And guess what day Chester Marathon is? Yeah, the same day as London Marathon. So I can't do all three. Yeah, obviously I can't do Chester and London. So the thought came in is, you know, why am I doing this running? I've ran the England place before at Yorkshire Marathon, didn't go well, but that's not the reason of part of the decision. For me, I started as a charity runner. I feel like I'm still a charity runner. I know I'm at an international level, but I feel with me running, I want to do something that helps and benefits others. And as a lovely dog's come up to say hello. Hello, look at you.
Come on, sorry.
Say hello to YouTube. What a lovely surprise that was, yeah. I won't say what the dog's doing now, but anyway. So I digress. You might have seen my previous video about some dog encounters here, but I've got to say 99% of the dogs and dog owners here are fantastic. Yeah, I do love dogs. Anyway, so where was I? Yes, Chester Marathon is the same day as London. So we've got Berlin, the 20 whatever of September. A week later, Chester and London. As I was saying, for me, the running, I want to do things that help others. I mean, I've got great health and I'm so blessed with all that, and I just wanted to do something that would help. And you may recall at London last year, and it was quite emotional for me, not because it was the first mass participation London Marathon after lockdown. That was part of it, but also that literally the night before I had a message from my family that my aunt was taken ill, and she literally only had 24 hours. So for me, that was devastating news. And running London Marathon, I could almost sense she was there all the time. And then when I finished, you would have seen me weeping and crying. Like, it was just so emotional. The battery went flat on the camera, so thankfully you didn't get all of the weeping and everything. But sometimes we Brits tend to hold it back. Whilst I'm Latin American, I think I've become a bit more anglicised, but the emotions did come out, and that's what's led me to decide which marathon to do and why I'm going to, and who I'm going to be doing it for. And I've decided the big decision is, have you all worked out what that big decision is? Yes, I've decided to run London Marathon in aid of charity. I won't say what charity it is just yet, because there'll be further videos coming out, and also I'll be speaking to one of the heads of the particular charity that I'll be running for. But I can run Berlin next year. Thankfully, with that time that I done at Manchester, that qualifies me for next year's Berlin Marathon time, unless they change their qualifying times for my good for age. So a 3:06 should get me into Berlin for next year. Berlin works, you have to qualify every year. It doesn't last for years and years on end, and I think it's the same for London now, where you have to qualify in a particular year. Because there was a time where you could have 2 or 3 years of times and get into London year after year. Now you have to qualify each year. So as I've ran Manchester, that should qualify me to run Berlin next year. So I thought, with London coming up now, and I want to run London Marathon in honour of my aunt, and to help raise some vital funds for the charity that I'll be running for, because yeah, we had such happy memories with my aunt and family and so on, and I thought it'd only be fitting to run that. There will be some other things coming up over the next few weeks, months, that I'll be talking about, but I just wanted to put this out here, right now, so you know that when you hear me talking about that I'm training, and I do drop in that I've London Marathon and I don't mention the other marathons, yes, I'm running London Marathon this autumn in aid of charity. So whilst I have a Good for Age place, I know that a lot of charities do love us coming on board and helping raise other funds, because every little helps, as they say. Yeah, so that was my decision. I'd love to hear from you guys. Are any of you going to be running London this year? Whatever type of place you've got, whether it's a ballot place, charity place, Good for Age place, tours, world tours. I know there's some guys coming over from Australia, US, who've got some places as well, and I'm looking forward to meeting with you guys. Even if I wasn't running London or racing it, I would have probably headed down to do some support or whatever, because it's such a great event. And regarding the England Marathon Masters, yeah, I've done it. Maybe I can do it again. I might try and qualify Masters at different distances, but again, it's something where I'm in this, pun intended, for the long run. I'm not here to smash up my body for content for YouTube or whatever. I'm here for fun. I'm here for the joy of running, and I hope you enjoy what you do and love it as well. So let's keep on running. And as I always say here, is apart from the keep running, it's all about the train, race, pizza. Love you all, guys. Thank you for watching, and see you all soon. Bye bye bye.